Lantern bugs. Lantern bugs. Bad sign. We don't like that.
I don't want to kill it.
We don't.
Press his hair.
You are supposed.
Nope.
That's environmentally progressive, right, Sam?
I'm sure there's a lanternfly lobby.
Okay.
There's a lobby somewhere for them.
All right. Hey, good afternoon. Jano Lieber here. I'm the MTA chair and CEO, joined by the COO of the USTA National Tennis Center, Danny Zausner, and the one and only Queensboro president, Donovan Richards. If there were a crowd here, they would be cheering wildly because this man makes it happen in Queens. Listen, I grew up going to the U.S. Open at Forest Hills back in the day. The closest I ever got to ever playing at a high level was watching my high school tennis team get taken out, bageled by John McEnroe. That's a true story, in the late 70s. But here we are. What brought us to Flushing today is U.S. Open coming back to Queens. This is one of our favorite events in New York City. We love this. Got the Mets across the way. We love the U.S. Open in Flushing at the U.S. Tennis Center. And the best way to get there is to take mass transit. I rode the train out today on the 7, skip stop, go, 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 every 2-3 minutes. This is the best line in New York, number 7, 2 to 3 minute service. So we got subway to get here. We got buses to get here galore. Long Island Railroad comes right here. We have Accessoride for people with mobility issues. And we're having more people choose to go that way because the service is so great. And all of those options are way, way better than sitting in traffic on the Grand Central Parkway or on the Van Wyck or whatever one of those crazy congested roads are, and then paying $20 to $40 to park. Take the train, take the bus, take advantage of our great mass transit. In fact, over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be running extra service to support this incredible event, both on the number 7 line. You almost can't run more trains on it because, like I said, every 2 to 3 minutes they come along. We're running more of that. We're running more Long Island Railroad service. More than 800,000 people are expected to be here to watch the world's best tennis players. So take the subway for less than $3. Take the Long Island Railroad for $5 inside the city, and avoid all that time wasted and all that money wasted on driving. So we're going to keep pitching mass transit. Schedules, fares, the whole 9 yards on the MTA website, mta.info, but also on the apps. There's an MTA app, and there's also the Train Time app, which has commuter railroads. And for the 3rd year running, we're blessed to have some of the biggest names in tennis recording announcements inside the subway system. We have the legendary Billie Jean King. We have former U.S. Open champion Andy Roddick, and we have our friend, the native New Yorker, Patrick McEnroe. Now, Patrick couldn't be here with us today. He wanted to be here. He had a family obligation, but he did record a video. So can we let that roll, team? Roll the video.
Hey, it's Patrick McEnroe, everyone. As a Queens native, I know all too well about traffic jams, waiting in parking lots, and hassles on the roads. So that's why I'm so happy that this year my announcement is playing on the subways all across the New York tri-state area. So get on the MTA, use the buses, use the subways, public transport, the best way to get out to Flushing for this year's US Open. Promises to be another epic tournament. I hope you have fun, and remember, it's all about hassle-free transport.
All right, that is a native New Yorker, ladies and gentlemen. The McEnroe family grew up with their amazing record of tennis success in New York City, and we're thrilled to have Patrick and the entire team as a partner. So with that, let me turn it over to the COO of the United States Tennis Association, Danny Zausner.
Danny.
Thank you, Jano, and thank you, Borough President Richards, for being out here today to support the U.S. Open. Starting this Monday for the next 3 weeks, we anticipate having more than 1 million fans. So, Jano, it's actually a much bigger number than 800,000. And over those 3 weeks, starting actually this Sunday night, we'll have a Dierks Bentley, country star Dierks Bentley will be in Louis Armstrong Stadium. And then Fan Week starts on Monday and runs through Sunday, August 25th. That is 7 days of free entertainment on the grounds of the National Tennis Center before the main draw starts on August 26th. I caution all of our fans out there, we have limited parking. Mass transit is the only way to go. It is the preferred way to go. The Mets will have conflict days over the course of the 3 weeks. Please check the schedule. Go to usopen.org and see when the Mets are in town and when you want to stay away from driving. We suggest every day is a great day to take mass transit. I also want to thank our friends, not just at the MTA, but the Long Island Railroad as well, because it makes all the difference in the world to ensure currently more than 60% of our fans come from mass transit. We'd love to see that number grow every year. So thank you, Jano, for the team at the MTA and all you do to make this event incredibly successful.
Borough President.
All righty. Thank you, Jano and Danny. It's a great week for the Borough of Queens as we now enter into the U.S. Open, and I'm ready to hit the court. Now, I don't know if y'all saw my record pitching at the Mets game this week, and I will certainly turn down Steve Cohen's offer to become a permanent pitcher. But certainly we're ready to hit the court here as the U.S. Open kicks off in a few weeks. What I want everyone coming to the court to do is to ride the rails. Now, Queens is proud to be home to the biggest tennis tournament in the country and one of the biggest in the world. Every year, more than 800,000 people from around the world come to the world's borough to watch world-class athletes play. And please, to everyone coming to the U.S. Open this year, don't just watch a tennis match while you're in Queens. Spend your money here. Shop here, eat here, support the people who make this Open possible. But beyond that, we're really encouraging you to take public transportation to the matches. Now get a load of this. City tickets on the LIRR cost just $7 during peak hours and $5 during off-peak times. And you can ride the rails right to the tennis center. You really can't beat it. If you're coming to the Open but you've never been to Queens before, trust me, you don't want to get stuck on the Van Wyck or the Grand Central. And let me tell you why Queens is the most diverse county in the United States. It's because people come from the airport and they get on the Van Wyck, and since they can never get off of it, they just stay in Queens. So if you want to stay in Queens, get on the Van Wyck. We'll happily accept you. With that being said, we look forward to seeing each and every one of you. Please enjoy your time here. Taking the LIRR is really the easiest method for you and lessens traffic for the rest of us. So let's avoid the roads if we can and make sure we're utilizing mass transit like the LIRR or the 7th train. Once again, thank you to the MTA and the USTA for continuing to make this push each year. It's a grand slam, my friends, taking public transit.
All right, before we get to questions, we're going to play those audio announcements that will be on the subways in the next few weeks.
Hey, New Yorkers, it's Queens native Patrick McEnroe. The U.S. Open is back right here in Queens. Remember, the best way to get out to the Billie Jean King National Tennis Center is by riding with the MTA.
Hey, New Yorkers, this is Andy Roddick. The U.S. Open is back in Queens. Remember, the best way to get out to the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center is by riding with the MTA.
Hey, New Yorkers, this is Billie Jean King. The U.S. Open is back in Queens. Remember, the best way to get out to the Billie Jean King National Tennis Center is by riding with the MTA.
And with that, let's get to your questions. Who wants to go first? I see Samantha Liebman raising her hand from New York One.
I think it's just
the
me.
line is a short one, but it's a good one because Sam Liebman.
Is it? Can I go to off topic?
Well, why don't we start on topic?
I have no on topic.
Well, why don't we see who has on topic questions?
¿Dónde está?
Oh, did you want to offer a few remarks?
For our friends in the Spanish-speaking media, I will say, vamos a ver el partido de tenis usando el MTA, usando mass transit. Vamos, vamos, vamos.
Better than Bloomberg's, man.
Well reviewed by the borough president. All right, if no on topics, we go to your off topic.
Okay, all right.
All right, you might not want to stick around for this.
Just wanted to get you to respond to this incident involving a pedestrian and bus today.
Yeah. So whenever there's a collision or a pedestrian injury and a death, the first thing that we think about is the family and the person. And I don't know a lot about exactly what happened. The DCPI, the police department's doing its investigation, but a huge hole in New York's heart whenever we have a person lost, especially in a mass transit accident. But it's under investigation. That's the way we handle it. Also, in this case, we have taken the bus driver out of service while the investigation goes on. And we'll be back to you when we know more.
All right, other questions? Anybody? Very well, thanks. Thanks very much.
All right.
Hey, it's Patrick McEnroe, everyone. As a Queens native, I know all too well about traffic jams, waiting in parking lots, and hassles on the roads. So that's why I'm so happy that this year my announcement is playing on the subways all across the New York tri-state area. So get on the MTA, use the buses, use the subways, public transport, the best way to get out to Flushing for this year's US Open. Promises to be another epic tournament. I hope you have fun, and remember, it's all about hassle-free transport.
Hey, New Yorkers, it's Queens native Patrick McEnroe. The U.S. Open is back right here in Queens. Remember, the best way to get out to the Billie Jean King National Tennis Center is by riding with the MTA.
Hey, New Yorkers, this is Andy Roddick. The U.S. Open is back in Queens. Remember, the best way to get out to the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center is by riding with the MTA.
Hey, New Yorkers, this is Billie Jean King. The U.S. Open is back in Queens. Remember, the best way to get out to the Billie Jean King National Tennis Center is by riding with the MTA.